This is major breaking news. This is happening right now. The National Guard has been deployed. Major U.S. ports have been shut down. And we also have IED explosive devices being left at the U.S. border. And we have U.S. border agents on high alert right now, right? This stuff's all happening right now today. And this is a big red flag warning sign for what is coming next in our country. All right, we need to be getting ready. We need to be getting prepared for potentially a major attack or a major situation inside America. All right, because we are wide open right now. And now we have the National Guard being deployed, ports being shut down. All this stuff is going on. And this is part of the collapse of America. All right, just a few weeks ago, we had trains being shut down going into the U.S. All right, all this stuff is being done on purpose. It's being funded by these NGOs and these sketchy billionaires. All right, people like George Soros, you know who I'm talking about. All these sketchy billionaires that are funding the collapse of America right now from the inside out. All right, they're surging America right now, and this is part of the collapse. So let's get into this news here, and then we will, because this is very important. We have Border Patrol on high alert right now, and then we will get into the National Guard being deployed, and U.S. ports are shut down right now as well. This is already affecting business, and business owners are saying that if the ports don't open up soon, they're saying they're going to be shut. They are shut down indefinitely right now. Ports are being shut down indefinitely right now, and if they don't open up soon, then they're saying that their entire business could go out of business. All right, they could go under if this situation isn't solved very soon. In the next few weeks, they're saying that their business is going to go under. This is happening right now in America, and this is an attack on the U.S. So let's get into what's going on here first, all right, and then we will get into the National Guard, ports being closed, businesses on the verge of shutting down. This is serious, but this just happened today as well. 10 IEDs found at the U.S.-Mexico border. All right, this is coming out of mainstream news. 10 improvised explosive devices have been found there. And this is a very, very dangerous situation. Very, very dangerous. And how many explosive devices have crossed into the border that we don't know about? All right, potentially radioactive material. All these things could have been crossed over the border, and we have no idea. All right, but 10 IEDs found at the U.S.-Mexico border today by the Mexican military, and we now have the U.S. Customs and Border Protection is warning agents to be on the lookout for explosive devices. Customs and Border Patrol is warning its agents to, quote, exercise extreme caution and should report any possible armed subjects approaching the border with possible explosive devices, according to the memo. All right, this is what the Customs and Border Patrol is issuing to their agents right now, today. All right, they are saying that be on the lookout for people crossing the border with explosive devices. This is happening right now, and the border is still just wide open. What is going on? This does not make sense. Where are these people going? Just a few days ago, there were 12,000 people showing up in one day. And we're having city-sized populations coming into the U.S. every single month. Every single month, there's a major city, hundreds of thousands of people coming into the U.S. Where are they going? Where are they going? Where's the housing for them? Who's paying for them? Okay? And I was just reading reports as well that our country spent over $500 billion on this problem cumulatively with the states and the federal government. Over $500 billion last year on this problem, last fiscal year. Just housing these people and giving them goodies and all this stuff. What is going on? What is going on? And what do we get in return? We have explosive devices crossing over our border. And to give you perspective, our military budget is $800 billion about, and we spent $500 billion on people that aren't even U.S. citizens. This is just insane. This is insane, all right? So let's get into what's going on with the National Guard. They've been deployed as well. Ports have been shut down. All right. The Arizona governor has now signed an executive order, and they have unleashed the National Guard to the ports, all right, to the border, to try to get these ports reopened, because the Lukeville crossing in Arizona is shut down right now. It's been shut down for a few days, and DHS is saying it's being shut down indefinitely. And this is the statement coming from the Arizona governor, all right, because the Lukeville port is now shut down right now, and this is affecting businesses. And instead of having people legally allowed to go to Mexico or come back, they are now legally not allowed to do this, because these people that are breaking the law are overwhelming the system. And a lot of times the National Guard is sit down there and they just end up facilitating these people and helping them into the country. That keeps happening as well. All right. Hopefully that's not the case here. But here's the quote. The governor had a conversation with Secretary Mayorkas last night. He did not commit to any kind of timeline for the reopening of Lukeville. All right. This is insane. Our country is being immobilized. All right. Our country is being overwhelmed right now, financially, physically, the supply chain, the resources, the energy grid, everything's being overwhelmed and attacked right now. The governor went on to say, quote, "The crisis at the border is unacceptable. We need the federal government to step up and do its job and bring security and stability to the border. I will continue to work with anyone who can help us bring an end to this mess." All right, so this stuff is overwhelming our country, and the federal government is refusing to do their job. That is actually right. And actually, federal National Guard troops were going there and facilitating the crossing and taking down the barriers that the Texas National Guard set up, right? There's this battle going on between federal and state forces right now, right? But you can also see here that this is affecting businesses too, okay? Businesses are reporting that they're losing thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're going to have to shut down their business if this port is not reopened, because they depend on people legally crossing and going to their gas stations and going to their businesses and buying their food and buying their product, right? We need these ports with Mexico. They are a trading partner of ours, but they are being overwhelmed and shut down. This happened to the trains maybe a month ago, or now maybe 2 months, a couple weeks ago, I don't remember. I reported on the trains were being shut down because there were so many people. There were thousands of people piling on top of the trains coming into the country that they had to shut them down because people kept falling off and there were mass casualties, all right? And they were just overwhelming and stopping the trains and forcing them to stop so people can get on, all right? This is insane. This is a coordinated attack. Who's funding these people? Who is funding them? There are people coming from all over the globe, okay? China, India, random countries in Africa, okay? The Middle East. How are these people getting here? If they need such help, how are they even getting here? This isn't even just like people from Mexico coming over anymore. That's not even what this is anymore. These are giant swarms of people that are being coordinated. They have been shipped halfway across the world to our border to be let in for free. And certain ones get free hotels, free housing, free cell phones, free Vespa little scooters to ride on. Those little Vespa scooters, you know what I'm talking about. They give those away for free. All this stuff. It's going on. Cities like New York City, they're housing these people for free. But then I see homeless people everywhere. It's so sad. It's devastating. Our country is not in a good spot, right? And there's people that are American citizens that are desperate and they get nothing. They don't get any help. And then these people fly from halfway across the world, show up and get all these resources on our back. They spent over $500 billion last year on this stuff. This is insane. Cumulatively, all the states and the federal government. This is crippling our country. And this is also an attack on businesses as well. You can see here, because a lot of them don't get this federal funding, these federal grants like these hotels are getting. What's incentivizing these hotels to just completely shut down pretty much and house these people that aren't U.S. citizens? They have to be getting a lot of money in the background. Something has to be going on in the background. And why are they getting this money as well? And you can see here, businesses on both sides of the border see plummeting revenue after the Lukeville Port of Entry is closed. It says Rocky Point resorts and U.S. gas stations are struggling to survive 1 week after the Port of Entry is closed. And this business owner here, she said, quote, that they've only made $5,000 this week, right? And she said that's normally how much they make in a day. This was Bernadette Nez. And she said, quote, I would say if the port isn't open by Christmas, a lot of businesses will be closed. All right, she's a gas station owner. This stuff is already hitting U.S. businesses, and it's an attack. All right, this is an attack. This is death by 1,000 cuts. That's what America is going through right now, our country. And it's sad because I love America. I was born here. I have kids. I have family. I have a dog. I have extended family. I love America. This is where I'm from. This is where I was born. And this is where I want to be a successful country. And they are tearing it down. It's death by 1,000 cuts. And it's so sad. It's so sad. That's why I make these videos, because it's just, I see what's going on. And I feel like the only thing I can do is just try to point it out and say, look at this. Look over here. What's going on? And a lot of times it does have rippling effects, right? This stuff can change, but we have to just keep pressing and not let up on any of this. The border needs to be, and the tide is turning, right? This is a Democrat governor. Katie Hobbs is a Democrat governor in Arizona, and she's deploying the National Guard and saying this is unacceptable. So the tide can change, right? I saw Senator Fetterman, okay? Democrat senator. He even came out recently and said that the border is unacceptable and something needs to change and we need to close the border because this is just insane and we are overwhelming. The NYC mayor, the same thing. He said this is too much. NYC is being overrun and something needs to change, right? So the tide is turning. The tide is turning. We just have to stand firm while it turns. This is the hardest part, is while it's turning. But the tide can shift. Things can change, right? I'm always prepared for something big, but the best case scenario is for something big not to happen, for us to push back and something changes and then it doesn't happen. That's best case scenario. I don't want the grid to collapse. I don't want there to be martial law in these cities because they are overwhelmed. I don't want the National Guard being deployed. I don't want these emergencies going on. I don't want these businesses to collapse. I don't want all of this. All right. So the best case scenario is for things to turn around. All right. So have faith, have hope, guys. Keep praying, stay prepared mentally, spiritually, physically. All right. All these things are critically important the closer we get. And make sure you are able to protect yourself as well. All right. And make sure you're out of these mega cities, because where there could be more explosive devices that have already crossed. We don't know who's in the country. We don't know what's in the country. And actually, the National Guard actually had a major drill for a radiological, biological, chemical attack in a major stadium. I made a whole video on it, and it was in Iowa. They had the hazmat suits out and everything. The National Guard were doing this drill for essentially like a dirty bomb going off in a stadium. Right, so they're getting ready for something big, and having the border wide open is a national security threat, and it just allows all these things to enter our country untouched, unscathed, under the radar. We don't even know this out in the middle of the desert. If you guys been out west, people can just cross and just never be seen again. People just can go missing out there. I was in this one area out west where this guy just went missing. All right. Out in Nevada. I was in this part of Nevada, right? Staying there for a while. I have this off-grid property out there, right? And this guy out there, he just went missing, and nobody can find him. Nobody's seen him. They don't know what's going on, and that's how these places are. They're so desolate out there, and we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's entering our country. There could be very dangerous things crossing our border, unregulated, and just unfound. Nobody even knows it's there, right? And dangerous people, dangerous groups. So Thank you guys so much. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family. I hope you're staying stocked up and prepared. Seeds, water filters, storable food, canned goods, all right? All this stuff is going to be critical, and I hope you have a nice stockpile of it for what's coming next, all right? So thank you guys, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.